Hello and welcome folks to Agathos Flight School. Today I want to give you a little boom and zoom fighting demonstration I did while flying the Bf-109 E-4. I spawned into an Enduring Confrontation Sicily map and noticed that there were way more Allied players than German players, and the fighting concentrated here on Sicily. Let's show that between those two airfields. And what I noticed while watching is that we had many Allied coming from that one airfield here, and only very few Germans from here, and the fight actually rolled along this axis for quite a while at altitudes between 4,000 to about 6, 7, 8,000 feet, with regular coming high Allies coming in at 9K. And so I decided, when I saw this, to take the Bf-109 EAT, take off from here. This was my first mission in this match, and because I knew I would be against greater numbers with not so much support, I decided to climb rather high. And as you see here, I'm now closing the area of the fight, and here you can already see the first dots. And as this is a real nice demonstration of what is needed to be successful in the boom and zoom attack style, I wanted to show it to you. This is also done from a replay, so it is for everyone visible, not only the VR crowd, but I will stay in players view so you see where I look and how I fly. Okay, now let's start and go into the replay. You see there, I now identify 3 dots and put my nose to the right of them and now they start with phrases, more dots appearing, you see, and I'm still looking around. What is now important here about boom and zoom and attack style? While I approach the combat area, I actually look that I am the highest plane around, because I need the altitude advantage to handle the numbers. You know, the Bf-109 E-4, also a nice plane, and even to some extent a turner, is not a plane that can on its own win a turn fight against multiple enemies, especially as here in EC2. I think there are some things like the Buffalo or other Allied planes that really turn excellent. And so first I secured that I'm the highest plane, and now I'm coming in, and as you see, I work my way down. I attack the highest dot first. Problem in I will admit, problem in VR is identifying. But you see here, I got hits on him, and now I go up. Also, he's wounded. I do not immediately set up another attack, but instead choose the next highest dot, check my 6, and now there was one little other guy around, and I come in. Now the first thing I try is, it looks like that P39 is again the highest dot, but then I see that other guy there, and so I decide it's time, the next attackers will be on that one. I come in, and you see I scored hits also. Back up I go, check my 6, and you see very different to the fights I normally do, where I'm often 1 versus 1. I'm not so aggressive. I go, I reposition, I take a look around, I take care that I'm still the highest one around here, and I use actually the zoom climbing and climbing ability of the Bf-109 to secure this position. Now I've lost the dots, so I gently dive down and get some speed to get out of the AA area. And you see I got one kill so far. And now I turn around and scan the sky again. And see if I can find a target of opportunity. And there I see the fight has shifted over, you see, and now I move over there. And now I'm confused by some noise coming in. You know, there's a sound, but sometimes it's just strange with the sound since 1.71. So I actually see a contact down low. There, multiple, and I go up, you see here, and try to keep my position. They are actually chasing me, and it's a P-38, and I try to keep my nose up, and now I'm coming down, flaps out, to get into a good position. As I noticed here, you see, I got the kill, and again I go straight up. I just followed through that turn long enough so I have a good shot, and now you see there's the next guy on my 6. I go up and do the same again. I keep my nose relatively high and try to force a positional advantage, and now I come down while I know he will be stalling out soon. And even on him, I got hits. I'm not sure if I got the kill. Let's see if I got the kill. Ah, not yet. You see he's moving, and I go in for another pass. And I see here, I scored hits again. You see the problem with the replay, that it's a little bit off. And you might notice how I constantly go up, keep my energy, try to regain some altitude while climbing, and then only coming down for the next pass. I don't follow him through too hard to his turns, only as long as I'm keeping some vertical maneuvering speed. And so here he's going down and I go up. There you see that there are still multiple boogies and I'm alone here. And so I keep them at bay. I attack, I stay aggressive, but I don't follow them down in this case. I keep the altitude. You see he now brakes hard, and so I brake off because that would cost me energy, and I climb back up. I will also admit I have some troubles currently. The engine is, I think, running hot because I'm long on war emergency power, and there is someone stalling out. I saw him tumbling down. And again securing that I'm the highest dot around. And this style of fighting to me is a little hard because I really have to keep the discipline. You see there I now spot a buff and I bring myself into position for an attack run because nothing else seems to be close. I'm ran out of cannon ammunition and now I go on that buff, and you see there was the fourth kill. The A36 actually crashed, and now I do that pass at the buff. You see that little delay in the replay, or maybe it's because virtual reality I'm getting a better feel for very close distance now. On the flat screen it felt like I would almost ram him, and there you see the next one coming in, and again I go up high and try to bleed his energy, see if he can keep his nose up so long. And it seems yes he can, and so I do another upward loop, and now you see that is a Hawk, very maneuverable, turnable fighter with low stall speed, and he can actually keep the nose up very long. Nevertheless, I get a hit, and there finally I am jumped by that P-38, and I nose down, and now it's time to back out and end the replay at this situation. You see I got 4 kills, and now I'm on the deck, and so the boom and zoom part is over. So now let's hold that. You see now one defensive move for the final. He comes, I roll against him, he overshots in the vertical, and I nose down again and getting the hell out of there. Okay, so let's stop the replay here. You see this was a demonstration of boom and zooming versus multiple energies, and you might notice what was very important to be successful in this. First, you need to secure that you're actually the highest plane around, at best with some altitude advantage so you can work with. Then only one attack pass per target, where you stay so long on the target as you have a decent shooting ability. Once the target breaks hard or turns around, does an Immelman to the bottom or something like this, split S, sorry, does a split S to the ground or dives down, you immediately break up and go high, use the energy advantage you have to climb back up to altitude, then orient yourself and choose the next target you attack. And choosing a target is very simple. You normally choose always the highest target around. So why you do that? Your goal is during the entire fight to be the highest plane in the combat area. And if you always attack the enemy plane contact that is the highest contact, you will have a good chance that if you do not hurt him or shoot him down, you actually force him down and lower his energy state, which will allow you to keep your position longer. And so you see how I did that here. I came in, there was that Cobra or whatever it was. I did a pass, I damaged him, I went up, I oriented myself, I saw that there was another contact very close or even higher than that Cobra, but then it saw it looked a little bit like that Cobra would be coming higher, and so I went in, but then saw the other guy was still higher, so I changed my attack vector on that F2A, I think it was, hit him, damaged him, he burned, and so he was also forced down, and that way it was always rinse and repeat. And now at the end you saw the entire fight shifted a little bit. This is normal that this happens, especially if the allies here have a numerical superiority and are forcing the battle more towards the German airfield. But you saw I then did this again, and now how did this fight end? This fight ended the moment where actually one contact was higher than me. And why did it end at this point? If then suddenly, like here, that P-38 comes in and jumps you, you know that you lost your highest position. And if your plane doesn't allow to outright outturn everyone in the area, that is the point where you have to nose down and run. Well, I'm not sure if the E-4 can do that actually, but I managed it to the airfield back, and both guys were chased off. This is the moment you have to decide, okay, I can't fight 2-to-1 odds with this plane or 3-to-1 odds, and you see the Allied came in regularly, so it was very important to hold this highest position, and the moment that P-38 jumped me, I was no longer in a position to hold that highest altitude in the combat area. And so that was the time where I had to decide, okay, now it's time to go, because if I now stay longer, I will be shot down. It might that I get the P-38 because my flying skills are good enough to outfly him, but nevertheless, you see there are constantly coming enemy planes from the airfield into the combat, and one would have finally gotten me. I think also the P-38 also scratched my wing or something like this. But overall, I think this was a nice demonstration of boom and zoom attacking, using discipline and always going for the highest target to work my way down, and finally even how that fight ends and how I have to back out. I hope you enjoyed that and it helps you to fly more successful in War Thunder Sim mode. And so see you again here in the future. Your Agathos. Bye bye, folks.